let's start with the healing myths. This is not a quiz, this is awareness, and let's uncover what we were taught about stress and what's actually true. So, true or false? Silently say your answer. Stress is just in the mind. True or false? Okay. The answer is false. Stress affects not only your mind, but also your body. And this is what I will teach you in a few minutes. That explains how stress affects you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Second, true or false? You just need to rest more to feel better. True or false? Okay? The answer is false. Rest helps, but it's not enough. In fact, there's a way to go beyond what most wellness experts says because rest alone isn't the answer. True or false? I have to handle everything on my own. True or false? And the answer is false. In fact, healing doesn't happen when you isolate yourself and try to figure it out all alone. It happens faster when you're surrounded by people who truly understands you. And lastly, true or false, chronic disease is related to chronic stress. True or false, the answer is true. But what if I told you that the real enemy of your health is not outside, it's the unhealed stress inside you? Chronic disease begins when chronic stress becomes your body's new normal. Our topic today is not about stress. It's about the effects of stress. My background is Western and Eastern healing modalities. I am also certified in mind body medicine. And I have explored all that I can to find the one that truly heals. Not just in the physical, but also in the emotional and in spiritual. I have purposely discussed this as introduction because of so many reasons, which I will be discussing later. At the end of this session, I will tell you my personal story, why I'm doing what I'm doing. But for now, I just want to tell you that I have treated so many patients in the clinic and I have heard so many stories of pain. And after observation, study, finally I have come to a conclusion that it is very, very important for people to understand what stress is doing to one's body, mind, and spirit. And so during this webinar, I will share with you 3 secrets that will help you finally understand what your body has been trying to tell you. And other than that, I will also share with you the Pharmaholistico method so you can gain back your peace and clarity. Also, we will experience one mind-body technique that you can use and that can help you navigate your life towards holistic health. I will share with you Western and Eastern healing techniques and philosophy so you can understand both schools of thought and how it can help you. I will give you proven science that help people heal holistically. You will also be able to understand why quick fixes don't really work. And after this webinar, you can go on your life with awareness and wisdom of what you truly need. So if you're ready to listen, you can take a deep breath, breathing into your nose and out through your mouth. And I would like you to reflect on whatever things that you're going to hear on this webinar. I'll try my best not to make this what do you call that, heady, but actually created this to be balanced. So head, heart, and hand. So let's start. So let's begin with the first secret. Secret. How to unlock the number one most overlooked cause of illness. And maybe I've started with stress. Yes, I'm going to discuss stress. And stress, 85% of Filipinos suffer from work-related stress, exceeding global averages. And the Philippines have been found to have significant levels of stress and anxiety and depression. And we can see this in the people around us. Like for me, I can see this in the clinic. Those who are coming for acupuncture. Stress is our body's natural survival response when life feels bigger than our capacity to cope. Sino ba makakaiwas sa stress? Wala naman, 'di ba? And what is very important to to know, and I would like to reiterate, that stress is a mind-body phenomenon. So it affects the mind, it affects the body. It affects the mental health with direct influence in the physiology. When we say physiology, it means the biological functioning of the body. We can say like the body temperature changes, the blood pressure changes, the heart rate changes, and many other things. Also, the course of illness. So in Tibetan medicine, they always say that the first thing that a practitioner should do is to calm the mind of the patient. Otherwise, mabilis na lalala ang sakit. And also, in connection with that is the effectiveness of disease management. So, if we can handle the stress, like many of karamihan sa mga may sakit, nai-stress. So, ah, kaya minsan, sa ospital, ah, 'pag na-stress ka, eh, baka magtagal ka. Ayan, so stress can factor in siyempre yung expenses, at the same time yung family natin, yung maapektuhan and the relatives and all those stuffs. So when we feel physical symptoms of stress, what we usually do is we go to the doctor. Diba? This is the traditional way, or what we usually do. We go to the doctor, and the doctor will check the BP, the vital signs, and then prescribe the medication. Is it true or false? Yeah, this is what is happening. But I would like to share these misconceptions about stress related to the true or false that we have done in the beginning. So, first is stress is just in the mind. The truth is stress not only affects your mind but also your body. As we have said, it is a mind and body phenomenon. And science solid proof that the basic system of the body are all interconnected. The nervous system, the endocrine system, the immune system, the cardiovascular system, and the digestive system. So, let's try to reflect on this. If everything is interconnected, and if we subject ourselves or we are subjected every day with stress, and we don't know how to regulate ourselves or to put it in equilibrium, then what do you think will happen? So these are just some of the manifestations of stress in the body. First, it disrupts digestion. And you can feel this. Maybe you can, sabi nila, sumasakit yung tiyan pag nai-stress. Or it can be nagda-diarrhea. Or nagkakaroon ng bloatedness. Another is, it throws your hormones off balance. That's why a lot of people right now, for people who are subjected into so much stress, um, manifests as problems in the thyroid, or it can be gynecological problems, like for women, it's more on hormonal imbalances. It can also affect your sleep. So, mahirapan ka na makatulog sa gabi. And ang problem is, pag nahirapan ka na makatulog sa gabi, paggising mo, mainit ang ulo mo. And then, the following night, ganun pa rin ulit. And then, paulit-ulit lang. And, katulad ng sinabi kanina, what we do is we go to the doctor prescribes medication. And over and over again until it becomes a chronic disease. And also, it weakens our immune system. Siyempre, pag stress ka, we also have what we call the stress eating. So, mag-i-increase yung appetite mo, and most probably, we will be eating foods that are not also balanced, like too much sweet, too much salty, or too much fatty. So, another effect of stress is the increase in abdominal fat deposits. Um, increase cholesterol. This is based on premise that when we are stressed, it is in a flight or fright reaction. So, what our body is trying to do is to reserve energy. That's why it increases the cholesterol and the abdominal fat deposits. Also, it decreases the cells in the hippocampus. The hippocampus is responsible for memory retention. So, yung mga always stress, have a difficulty in the long-term, accessing their long-term memory, more on the short-term memory. And then, this is also related for people who have been into traumatic experience. Meron tayong tinatawag na parang yung nakakalimot. So there's also, what I have told you, compromise in the gut function and the microbiome, and increase in pain. So yung masakit, lalong sasakit. Based on the study, the effect of stress that were forcefully immobilized, they have seen that there's a marked enlargement and discoloration of the adrenals. There has been intense shrinkage of thymus, intense shrinkage of the lymph nodes, and numerous blood-covered stomach ulcers have been seen. And this just lists the common stressors, the ACE list of stressors: physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, physical neglect, emotional neglect, mother-rated violently, household substance abuse, household mental illness, and parental separation, incarcerated household members. Okay, you can just see if you have this stressors. What is the effect of stress in our brains? So in this picture, we can see here that the brain, the gut, and the liver. So when we are stressed, first it affects the brain, then the gut. So in the gut, there's an increase in floral disturbance, there's an increase in intestinal permeability, and increase in bacterial translocation. So you just say that, yes, there's problem with the digestion. And then the liver. Increased liver inflammatory response, increased hepatocyte necrosis, and decreased nausea. Anyway, so one of my webinars, somebody asked, because of stress, will I have liver problem? I say, initially, pwedeng wala. But in the long run, it could be possible because of this. This is already based on science and study. So these are the list of related diseases, stress-related diseases, and you can just identify yourself which of those you already have. So stress is affecting the nervous system, the endocrine system, the immune system, the cardiovascular, and the digestive system. So there's no doubt why these diseases are related to stress. And now let's try to understand stress in the Eastern perspective. And here, I'm going to share with you traditional Chinese medicine. Although I also have background in Tibetan medicine, but that's kind of complicated. So let's just discuss first traditional Chinese medicine. According to the Yellow Emperor's Classic of Medicine by Mao Xing, I quote, "In the past, people understood the principle of balance. They ate a balanced diet at regular times, arose and retire at regular hours, avoided overstressing their bodies and minds, and refrained from overindulgence of all kinds." So as we can see here, merong river. So this river is just a representation of the Qi movement. And it is very important in traditional Chinese medicine, the concept of Qi. And the concept of Qi, and it is very important to note that Qi has to move. You just imagine in this river, we put a stone block blocking the whole water movement. What do you think will happen? So there will be an imbalance. Magda-dry up yung sa baba, magbabaha doon sa taas, and then there will be a very strong surge of energy. So Qi in Chinese medicine is also associated with the life force, the energy, or basically it's just the breath. And according to traditional Chinese medicine, when we inhale, so you can see in the picture, When you inhale, it doesn't just go into your lungs. It has to go down until the dantian. They call it the dantian. And I have seen most of the people who are stressed. Imaginin mo na nandiyan yung boss mo, or somebody na nagke-create ng stress sa'yo. You just try to observe what happens, 'di ba? Either mabilis yung paghinga mo, inhale, exhale, mabilis. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Yung paghinga mo dito lang yan sa taas, hindi na yan umaabot sa baba. And in Chinese medicine, liver qi, that when we say liver qi, it's not the organ, it's the energy of the organ. So the liver qi is the one responsible to the smooth flow of qi. And when this is stagnated, it causes ribside pain. This is according to the traditional Chinese medicine book. Ribside pain, chest distress, burping, the feeling of throat obstruction, which may also lead to abdominal pain, diarrhea, and lack of appetite or headache. And liver qi plays a very important role in adjusting the emotional activities and maintaining a stable positive mood. So we have to note that the qi flows to all organs and each organ has a specific time. So just remember that when one organ is affected, everything else follows. And that is not good. So these are the symptoms of stress. You can try to identify yourself which of those you have symptoms of. When energy flows freely, our emotions and organs stays in harmony. Another misconception of stress is I just need rest to feel better. Because the truth is, rest is not enough. Holistic healing involves also emotional processing. So this is what we usually do when we have um, physical symptoms of stress. We go to the doctor, and the doctor will prescribe medication, or the doctor will get lab results from us and will prescribe medication. No problem with that. And when we have psychological symptoms of stress, like anxiety, depression, ADHD, we go to a psychotherapist or psychologist or psychiatrist. For the psychiatrist, uh, he or she prescribes medication. For the psychotherapist, we undergo therapy. In the therapy session, uh, we are asked to come back. So we just repeat the process until everything's already okay. And stress has a major influence in our mood, in our sense of well-being, behavior, and the overall health. Here I'm going to share with you how stress affects the mind. A lot of people have anxiety. So when you have anxiety, you worry too much, you have a lot of thoughts coming, and the what if scenarios. What if this happen? What if that happens? Another one is depression. Depression, the feeling of hopelessness, the lack of motivation. So you don't want to wake up. And disinterest in things you once enjoyed. Also, mood swings. Irritability, sudden anger, unexplained sadness. Then the emotional exhaustion, feeling drained, feeling numb despite of rest. If you feel any of those, I was thinking because we don't have any interaction. So if you feel any of those, uh, you either go to a psychotherapist or to a doctor for your diagnosis. Or you can uh, you can attend one of my mind body skills group. It's very helpful for those symptoms. And I have personally seen a lot of good results from my clients who have undergone the 8 weeks mind body skills group. And according to traditional Chinese medicine, so the Eastern concept, emotional imbalance affects the organ chi. So in traditional Chinese medicine, for every organ chi, there's an emotion involved. So like for the lungs, grief. So too much grief affects the lungs. Too much joy affects the heart. Too much worry affects the stomach. Or other than worry, too much thinking also affects the stomach chi and the spleen chi. Too much anger affects the liver, and fear for the kidney. And you can just reflect on this. If you have the symptoms of stress it's affecting your mind, can be withdrawal from friends, family, or colleagues, difficulty concentrating or making decisions, increased reliance on unhealthy coping, overeating, alcohol, excessive screen time, short temper, conflicts in relationship, perfectionism, or overworking as a way to feel in control, and many more. Sorry, so here I'm just pointing out that the difference between the Western and the Eastern approach. I am not, this is a reminder that if you are undergoing medication, di ko sinasabi na hindi na kayo iinom ng gamot or hindi na kayo pupunta ng therapist. My stand on that is we do both.